Hi there, I'm Jordan and welcome to Kitchen Witch, where everyday magic can happen right here in the kitchen. Now, since the fall season is just about happening, we're going to do a lot of fall related dishes. And what we're going to start off is sports related. Today we're going to be making crescent dogs and deviled eggs. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients you'll need to make this dish. This is a quick and easy recipe to do. Now the first thing you just have to do is always start with the food that takes the longest. Now what we're going to start off with is the deviled eggs. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with water because we're going to boil the eggs in this pot because they take about 15 to 20 minutes longer to boil. So always start with them first. And then the hot dogs are what come right after because they cook pretty quick. Now it looks quite filled up, and we put it over here and we salt it up. Now we put it on high to boil. Now let's boil those eggs, shall we? Place the eggs carefully in the pot before the water gets too hot. Then boil the eggs for 15 minutes. Once 15 minutes have passed, the eggs will be hard-boiled. Now 15 to 20 minutes have passed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the oven and bring it over to the sink. Drain the water carefully. Now we bounce the eggs up and down in the pot to get them to start to crack. Then we fill the pot with cold water and let the eggs cool for 5 minutes. Pick up an egg, gently squeeze it, and roll it until the shell is all cracked into little pieces. Do the same with all of the others. Then put them back in the pot and let them continue to cool. The cold water works into the cracks so the shell will peel off easily. Peel each egg gently. Look for the thin film between the shell and the egg white. This will help the shell come off without tearing the egg white. Then set your peeled eggs aside in a bowl. Now let's get started on the hot dogs. I like to use Sabrits because they're New York City hot dogs and they're my favorite. Cut 4 hot dogs into thirds. We're going to be serving a dozen crescent dogs. Put your chopped hot dogs into a bowl and set aside. The best way to wrap your hot dogs is with Pillsbury dough. We had pie crust dough in the fridge, but it's better to use crescent rolls because they come out puffier. Spread out the dough on a wooden cutting board and use a pizza cutter to cut the dough into strips. Remove the round end pieces and then cross-cut the remaining strips. Then, take each piece of dough and wrap it around the hot dog before placing it on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. The reason I call them crescent dogs is I tried doing them with crescent rolls and they came out great. Preheat the oven at 400 degrees. Take an egg and whisk it with a fork. This will be an egg wash for our Crescent dogs, so they will look crispy and golden once we take them out of the oven. And besides, what's a good game without some really good finger food? And here we are at the Kitchen Witch Playoffs. It's a perfect day for Crescent dogs and deviled eggs. For the game, or the movie, or the Tonys, any event you can think of. Now this Kitchen Witch is at the top of her game. Look at how she effortlessly brushes those dogs. Oh, what expertise, what skill. Now that's talent. Now she slides those dogs into the oven. And what a beautiful slide that is. And stay tuned and we'll be right back after this. Cut the egg vertically with a knife. Scoop out the yolk with a small spoon or your fingers. Put the yolk in a mixing bowl and put the egg whites on a serving tray. Be careful not to tear the egg white. That's your serving tray for the egg yolk mix. Next, we mash up the egg yolks with a fork until they're small crumbles. Then mix in small amounts of sour cream and mayo. Don't use too much right away. It'll make it too wet and you won't be able to taste the yolk. Mix it slowly. Small amounts go a long way. Then we add our spices. I use Old Bay, a spoonful of sweet relish, a dash of paprika, ancho chili for a little heat, some salt, and a little cilantro. Some cooks may add a touch of mustard to make it a little tangy, or Miracle Whip to make it a little sweet. Scoop a small amount of the yolk mix in a spoon and slide it into the egg white. These deviled eggs were inspired by the Cajun-styled deviled eggs that I had at Dinosaur Barbecue. My Grandma Mary from down south used to make deviled eggs. Hers are a little sweeter than this. So this is another one of our family traditions. A part of my cooking is New York City Jewish food, but another part of it is inspired by home-style Southern cooking. Now we're going to sprinkle some Old Bay and some cilantro to give it a little color before we serve. Food is about exciting all your senses. We're back in the kitchen arena and we're about to see the final results of this Super Bowl spread. Look at that performance. It's a perfect 10. It's done and it's history. That's the final conclusion for this week's recipe. When we plate the finger food for your party, you'll want to have a couple dipping sauces. I recommend Gulden's and honey mustard. You could serve your deviled eggs buffet style or make individual plates for your guests. And what do you know? Snackage is served. The recipe for this dish appears in the description below. Give it a try and let me know how you did in the comments below. Good luck and happy cooking! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn more cooking lessons, be sure to subscribe to this channel to join Mary Helsing. So until then, thanks for watching. Happy cooking!